What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be testing out a bunch of different custom OSs to find you guys the best custom OS and what I think is the best. Now, I'll be giving you guys all the benchmarks so you can make your own decision, but one thing I want to say about that is the benchmarks could vary for your system. One OS might be better for my system while it's better for yours, so take that with a grain of salt and don't take these for 100%. Now, what we're going to be testing with today is WPR for the latency and cap frame X for the FPS. And I've compiled all these into some graphs, so let's go ahead and take a look at them. So, for Fortnite, we had GGOS on top and Kernel OS shortly under it. I think Kernel OS wins for Fortnite just because of how good it is on the lows. So I would say that's a winner for FPS. But we'll get to that in a minute. At the end, I'll go through what I think is the winner for each game and what's the best overall and all that good stuff. But moving on to the Valorant, we have Light OS being the best for FPS. We have GGOS being the best for the lows. And yeah, I mean, X-Lite, Kernel OS, and Light OS pretty much being the only ones worth it, besides GGOS because of how good the lows are. But you can see Windows 11 in there. I mean, Windows 11 did score pretty bad on the lows. Hype was worse though. Now, getting into the latency, we have Sapphire OS at best, XOS at worst, and then everything in between. For spikes, we had GGOS at best, X-Lite at worst. And then putting those two together, we have latency plus spikes. You can see Sapphire OS at the bottom, XOS at the top. But I do think Hype OS is the clear winner here as far as latency goes, because it has low spikes and really low average. Now, with all of that data, let's talk about what I think is the best for what. So first off, for Valorant, Light OS is the undisputable GOAT in my opinion. Light OS is pretty good on latency. I mean, it's just around average, you know, as far as the OSs go. It's not anything too crazy. It's not anything, you know, super low. Then as far as Fortnite goes, if you're somebody who strictly prefers FPS, then I would go with Kernel OS because the lows are so good. And, you know, it's 420 in the lows, 640 in the average. It's just going to be a really smooth gameplay. But if you want high FPS plus smooth delay, GGOS is probably the play. GGOS has really good delay in my opinion just because of how low of spikes it has. It scored in the bottom 4 on the latency, and it was literally the best in the spikes. So that makes it very good for latency. And overall for Fortnite, I would say that is probably the play, but if you just want FPS, go for Kernel. Now, for overall, what is the best OS? The best OS overall for FPS only is Kernel OS, in my opinion, because it had really high lows for Fortnite. It was in the second ranking for Valorant. It just looked really good overall. Now, what is the best OS overall in my opinion? What would I recommend you to get on? I would say GGOS is probably the best OS just because it has great latency. It has really good lows for Valorant. It's really good for Fortnite. And I mean, what could you go wrong with? The only thing that you could go wrong with, I guess, is that it's Windows 10. Some of you might not like that. You know, the next best option is probably Kernel OS because it's so good on FPS. It's a little bit lacking on latency, but it's good. Now, hopefully that gives you a good idea on what OS to try out. And I will be making another video testing more out with any that I left out. Some, you know, being like Fox or Vane or some of those I'll probably test. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And let me know what you guys want to see in the next video for the OSs. And I will test all of them. But have a good one. Peace out, guys.